What's up, everybody? Derek G here, Feed the Fire Films, and I'm just gonna kinda, babble on here for a little while because I've been having some thoughts, and I'm kind of in a mellow mood. I'm not in like this ranting and raving, full of energy type mood. I'm just like, whatever at this point, because that's kind of what this is about. It's like, whatever, dude, whatever, because how many people have to say the same thing in different ways for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades? You know, everybody keeps saying the same, like, yeah, okay, the economy doesn't work. It's jacked up. It's full of corruption in the economic business structure that supposedly runs the planet, right? And it's all corrupt, and it's all filled with greed, and blah, 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 right? But how many times can different people say that in different ways before anything is done? And that's what I mean. Nothing ever actually gets done. And now they say that, well, the first thing you got to do in order to change the world is change yourself, right? Well, you know, I've gone through the awakening process, you know, multiple times. It's not just once you wake up and that's that. You know, you wake up, you think you're awake, but really you're still not awake, you're half dreaming. And you wake up again later on, and you realize that half the stuff you thought you knew when you first woke up actually isn't the way you thought it was, and it's different now. So you have another epiphany, and you wake up again. And you keep going through this process. Awakening doesn't ever end. Just like everything else. You know, it doesn't end. No one's using 100% of their brain, so no one's actually awakened or enlightened. And that, I guess, is supposedly the goal that we're all supposed to be striving for in the awareness community. But nothing's changing in the real world. So if we're all spreading awareness and enlightenment, and we're trying to be the change that we want to see in the world, and we've assumed that we've changed ourselves in the way that we think we need to be changed in order to change the world into what we think we want it to be, but yet nothing's changing, how is changing yourself the only thing you have to do in order to create change? You can't. We have to change each other. But I don't see how saying the same thing about, you know, the economy and banks and the energy industry and the oil industry with free energy and blah blah and all the black market technology and then the whole war industry of manufacturing weapons and just war in general. It's just an industry, dude. It's a business. You know, and politics, all the corrupt politicians and governments and blah blah blah, all that stuff. How many times, like I said, how many times there's only so many ways to express the truth of the matter, and everybody claims to know that this is actually the case deep down, and we just assume that the majority of the world is afraid to admit to it, that that's what they feel, because it makes you feel powerless when you realize the giant retarded control mechanism that's actually fucking running the world. And I say retarded in a mechanical sense, not I'm not applying it to anyone of anything biological. It's a machine. They have a machine, and the timing on that machine is retarded. Okay, it's not firing right. It's misfiring, and misfiring, and misfiring, and misfiring. And every time we create a new law, we're just making it misfire some more. Yeah. Because the laws, again, that's a whole nother thing. Politics and the law. There's all these different countries got their own laws. And then there's international waters laws. There's maritime admiralty laws. There's town laws, county laws, state laws, federal laws. Yeah. I mean, it's just retarded. The whole system is really just out of whack. It's not running right. And it's working good for all the corrupt douchebags who own everything. So they don't see, they think the timing is running perfect. It's purring like a kitten. But for the rest of us, it's not. They haven't replaced a spark plug in fucking centuries. They still run the same old spark plugs. Us, we're the same old spark plugs. We don't get upgraded. We're just crap ass, Auto Quest $16 box of spark plugs. When like he says in the Network movie, like Howard Beale says in the Network movie, as replaceable as piston rods. That is so true. And dude, that's 1970 whatever. That's 40 years ago. He was saying that. And that's what I'm talking about. How many times do we all need to say this to each other for anything to actually change? Right? Yeah. Everybody seems to have ADD. They gotta run off and go watch TV and take a break from the truth, which to me sounds like fucking insanity. Like, granted, you can get information overload, and that's what, that's just kind of the peaking point between awakenings, between epiphanies, where, you thought you woke up, and you just keep learning, and you can somehow all of a sudden you can retain all this information, and you have this awesome memory that wasn't there before. But then it becomes so much that you can't shut your mind off and you can't stop thinking, and it becomes overload. And what I do in that situation is I go away from everything. I go out in the woods by myself. I don't sit and watch TV. I don't listen to other people's music or distract myself by going and being social with people or anything like that. You go be alone in silence in order to turn off your thoughts and reset. And then it's all downhill until the next awakening. And that's kind of how it flowed. That's kind of how it's been flowing for me for the past 20 years. So, I'm only 46. So, I did have my first real awakening when I was 25. And I saw the world really as this giant corrupt machine, which it actually is now, and I don't even know where I'm going with this, because it's becoming the epitome of exactly what I'm saying. I just keep saying the same things about the same things and nothing changes. Yeah. So, like I said at the very beginning, I'm just here to babble on about this because I don't know how many, it's school shooting after school shooting, and then they shoot somebody at a theater, and then somebody gets shot over here, and the fake news, the scripted news, and now Twitter and Facebook and Google they're just deleting content with no warning, and they're just cracking down, like net neutrality is gone. They all voted for it, but now they're cracking the whip for the the other side anyway, and it just all doesn't make any sense, man. Yeah. It really doesn't. Like, I saw a post on Facebook that said, if you woke up tomorrow and you had $1 trillion, what would you do? You know? And $1 trillion is about, you know, like one of the comments on the post was, someone said this, that Bill Gates isn't even worth 10% of $1 trillion. Okay? So $1 trillion is a massive amount of money. And it made me think. And I said, well, with that much money, if you have 10 times more money than Bill Gates, you could actually buy the entire future of all things and turn the world into whatever you wanted. Yeah. Personally. Whatever you personally wanted. If you did it the right way and you have the right people on your team with enough information and enough intelligence, we could turn this world into this thriving heaven on earth. Yeah. And that's, you know, using their stupid monetary system that is actually completely irrelevant and pointless, because none of it would matter to turning the world into the Garden of Eden. It doesn't matter. All that's blocking us from doing that and hindering us. The money hinders us from allowing that to happen. So if there's anything that needs to be changed, it's people's perception of money. And that's the first thing that everyone needs to change within themselves, is your perception of money. And half the light worker community goes, oh, money's just an energy field and we can harness it and use it for good. I'm sorry, you're wrong. It was created in a negative field of energy. It will always be negative. It will never have a good outcome. It creates greed, which in a biblical sense is a sin. Okay, so all these Christians out here who donate with their money at the church, you're sinning. You're using money. It's usury. Jesus was against usury. So was Muhammad, right? And Buddha and Moses, and go down the fucking line. And they all hated the money makers. Just like Andrew Jackson, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Didn't like Christianity, didn't like the money makers. Yeah. But again, how many times do I need to say that? You know, before people actually change their minds and change themselves to actually create any real change in the world. And that's why most people just go, oh, well, forget it. You might as well just party your life away while you're here until you die, because there is nothing you can do about it. So why stress over it and just have fun and live and be happy that you're alive, and chalk it up to just be happy that you're alive and don't worry about everything else. You know what I'm saying? And that's like narcissistic apathy in the psychological, to phrase it in a psychological term. It's narcissistic apathy. That's what everybody tells you to, they tell you to behave that way. Just be a narcissistic, just be an apathetic narcissist. Yeah. Just be happy and worry about yourself. Yeah, don't worry about the rest of it. When it's bullshit, dude. You are not here on this earth by yourself. You're not allowed to just worry about yourself. You have to worry about your entire environment and everything around you and everything in it. And yourself. Yeah. All at the same time. It's not you change yourself first and then everything change. Everything's got to be comprehended all at once. And that's the problem right there, is money hinders the information and people are stupid. No offense to anyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, but on a one-on-one basis, you all agree with what I'm saying. If it was just me and you sitting and talking in the room, you'd be shaking your head yes and agreeing with what I'm saying. But 9 times out of 10, you put a group of people in a room like that, and everybody would be fighting with me over stinky little dookie fucking personal narcissistic issues that they're clinging to, that were given to them by this corrupt anti-economic, non-free will society. The slave debt society, the debt slave society. Yeah. Be defending pieces of the debt slave society. As if the little stupid detail that is actually a result of the whole fucking thing actually matters, when it shouldn't even exist. That the thought shouldn't even exist anymore. So if you actually changed and understood, those thoughts would disappear. And that's how we change the world. We change your thoughts, change your life, like Wayne Dyer says. Yeah. But we all need to do it. It can't just be some of us, some of the time, and half-assing it half the time, and still watching your stupid corporate TVs. You know? Kill your TV. They were right. They were right when they were saying that. You kill your TV. The corporations took it over. Kill your TV. In the 70s, they knew that shit. They came out with that slogan. They made bumper stickers. They were screaming it. No one listened. And we're still screaming it today. And still no one... we're still screaming it today. And now we have like 5,000 channels compared to when they were screaming it back then, when there was only 13. Okay? There was 13 channels and they were screaming, kill your TV. Now we have 5,000 channels. Did we listen to them? No. Obviously not. And that should paint the picture that it's a giant corporate takeover to provide a massive media brainwashing mechanism to mold social perception. And that's why everyone just sits and watches fucking American Idol and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Britain's Got Talent and all this fucking stupid shit that's given to you by the money makers. The money makers. The enemy. Yeah. But again, like I said at the very beginning, what is the point of me saying this and reiterating over and over? You know, if I become famous enough, they'll just kill me, right? Right? Isn't that what most people do? Hey, yo, dude, if you make enough noise, they're just gonna fucking get rid of you. They'll disappear your ass like a microbiologist, you know, or a Martin Luther King or a John Lennon. Yeah. If you get too much influence, too much power in the world, and people can hear your voice, and your voice doesn't promote the status quo for the, you know, the misfiring machine that isn't running at all, wasting fuel, going 2 miles an hour, and we call it progress, you know, then, you know, you get that voice, they kill you. They get rid of you, dude. They'll disappear your ass unless we all stick together. And they can't kill us all. Yeah? So if everybody actually got behind John Lennon in mass force, there would have been no way anybody would have ever been able to kill that guy, because he would have had posses of hundreds of followers and supporters around him to protect him no matter where he went. Yeah. But yeah, everyone just kicks back to go, oh, I like what he had to say, but they sure as hell weren't gonna put their lives at risk to protect his ass, right? Yeah. But that's what the corrupt machine does, and it's not their lives. They never put their lives at risk. They always put our lives at risk. They get us to kill us. Yeah. Which is even more fucked up. And that's, again, consciousness, information, education, knowledge. Everybody needs that. And you're not going to find it on your TV. It's never on the TV. Not anymore. It's all propaganda. It's been propaganda for, like I said, since the 70s. 40 years of propaganda. Flashing colors, flicker rates, subliminal sounds. You know, screwing with your biology. But anyway, I don't even know how long this is. Let me see how long. I've been babbling on. Yeah, this is long enough, I think. Anyway, that's just me. See, I kind of got a little revved up from the beginning, but I'm still just, you know, dude, whatever, man. I just don't understand. Like, you got all these people on the internet. There's millions of people who are like me, not famous, and out here saying this stuff, and we tell all our friends and family, and they all think we're crazy, and then we send them the evidence, and a few might come around, but nothing actually changes. It is so slow. The change is so slow because we're fighting this. We've got it's a constant uphill battle against the system, and every time we gain any progress, they come and they fucking shut everything down, and nobody does anything about it. Nobody gets outraged. There's no emotional response to that. There's only emotional responses to violence now, it seems. And politics, yeah. But there's no emotional response to, censorship. When you say, oh, I'm being censored, people don't get mad. They're like, well, prove it. They want you to prove that you're being censored before they'll even believe you're being censored. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, I'm taking off. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it. I'm sorry for the few and far between little F-bombs and bullshits, but sometimes they're needed, dude. You need, because when something is fucking bullshit, you have to say it's fucking bullshit. Right? Why beat around the bush and say, oh, well, that is just total nonsense. Total nonsense does not have the same impact as fucking bullshit. Okay? If I say, dude, that's total nonsense. Or if I say, dude, that's total nonsense. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. Which one has more impact? Total nonsense sounds like you're sugarcoating it. And fucking bullshit is straight to the point. So, offense is like beauty. It is in the eye of the beholder. So if I'm not out here, telling you to go fuck yourself, then you shouldn't really be offended when I say fuck this or fuck that. This is fucking bullshit. It's just a word. It really is. It's just a word. And more people use it than they will admit. But that's a whole nother video. I'll catch you all later, man. Peace, love, and gratitude, and namaste to all of you.